this, and I'm going nuclear. Um, you've gone after the wrong congressman. I don't know what in the hell you were thinking going after Thomas Massie. Dumbest move you all have ever made in your lives. Let's go ahead and clear this up from the beginning. First of all, we know that these smear piece campaigns come out the week of an election all the time. Most of the time. The reason why that is the case is because of the complete moral erosion in Congress on federal and local levels. God is a tool, religion is a tool. It's all used to try to manipulate people, and then they throw it in the trash can when it gets in the way with a political position. So I want to go ahead and clear this up. I just got censored on X. Not banned, not blocked. Everything I try to post fails to post because I was defending Congressman Massie and I was showing receipts. So what happened yesterday? And we're going to get into all of this. What happened yesterday? Well, a few things happened really quick. First of all, Poly Market was manipulated for a fucking snapshot. Somebody, somewhere, maybe in China with a bunch of business people, spent millions and millions of dollars randomly betting against Massie to try to drive the market against him, to show that Gallrein was up by like 1%. Okay. Maybe it was natural, right? Well, no, within a few hours, Thomas Massie was already up by over 61% again. He went from 48% to over 61% and climbed straight back up because it was being manipulated, okay? I don't know if any of you know this, but Donald Trump Jr. is invested in Poly Market. He's one of the guys over there, so might have something to do with it, a little bit, maybe. I noticed that there's nobody tuned in right now. This is crazy. And so Poly Market gets manipulated, and then Massie shoots right back up to 61, 62%, but nobody cares now. See, they got the snapshot. They got to take a snapshot and show, hey, Massie's down by percent. He's down to 49%. Look, Massie's going to lose because they spent millions of dollars to manipulate Poly Market for a few hours. That's what occurred. And then Massie's back up by over 61 to 62%. How'd that happen? Because it was bullshit, okay? Again, Donald Trump Jr. is invested in Poly Market, for those of you that don't know. Oh, y'all can cry to somebody else. Oh, look, another no-name, ATHAR-V Chobi 6255. It's always a no-name with numbers that's too much of a coward to stand up for themselves, attacking Massie supporters. You can't find an anti-Massie person in Kentucky, okay? So this is what they did. They went around and they spent millions. I'm talking to local politicians like Chris Zieneman, Eric Deters. Did you all not think that I was going to call you out for this? Eric Deters is all over Facebook right now trying to do all of these attacks against Massie. So let's go ahead and open up the can of worms. Eric Deters did jail time for chasing down his own nephew for flipping him off. He harassed his own nephew until he went to jail. Another profile that is using anonymity to attack me. They can't use their real name. Y'all notice this? Isn't it beautiful? So just mute them. Police the chat. I don't care. So Eric Deters is all over the place attacking Massie. But here's the problem. The story was debunked in a few hours. Within a few hours, all of that stuff was completely debunked. Okay? They had it all over the place. The office where the original affidavit was with this girl, okay? They proved no, it wasn't even against Massie. It was against Spats. Spats' office had to pay them 60 grand or offered to pay them 60 grand or whatever it was. It wasn't anything to do with Massie. And so they show some picture of Massie out with her when she was supposedly working with the office or this or that. You all have got to give me 1 second while I just block this random moron. Yeah, put user in timeout. There we go. For about, 24 hours. So they're sitting there showing this random picture while she was working at the office and they're on a trip or something and saying they might have dated and all this other crap. And it's all a smear piece because it's irrelevant, because the claim is that she claimed that he emotionally assaulted her But the claim wasn't even against him. It was against someone else at the office, and Spat's office has already come out and said all of this. So it was completely fabricated. She's already lost one suit against her ex-husband. Okay? Her husband or ex-husband, she claimed emotional assault against him and lost. She lost that case. She has another case against somebody else for the same thing. It's all emotional assault, emotional assault. This is all just a political smear piece against Massie. Now, Eric Deters was real arrested. Yeah, Eric Deters was actually arrested. He what was it, 90 days, I think he had to do in jail was the original sentence. So Eric Deters got arrested, and he is hunting down his own family who hates his guts, apparently. He is the one coming out and attacking Thomas Massie. So this is what Eric Deters isn't telling you. He's already ran against Massie before and lost, which is why he's not running this race. Everybody hates his guts, which is why he did so terribly the last time. Eric Deters ran for governor. I tried to support him and get behind him at first. I didn't like Matt Bevin, and I didn't like this, didn't like that. I ended up trying to support Deters, and then I found out Chris Thieneman was behind him. Chris Thieneman was backing him. He looked a little bit familiar, and I was like, wait, what's going on with this? And I see that Thieneman is the one that's backing Eric Deters. So I go to Eric Deters' YouTube during the campaign, and I bust his head. I flat out sold him out to his competition. I was like, you're full of shit. I tried to warn you about Thieneman. I tried to do this. I tried to do that. You ignore me. That's fine. So I sold him out to his competition, and I went, hey, did y'all notice that on Deters' YouTube channel, he went from like 100 likes a video to 10,100 likes and 15,100 likes? And it was like overnight, he went from not having an audience to having exactly 10,000 something and exactly 15,000 something views on everything. I said, he's buying his audience. He came out of nowhere. If you go back to all his old stuff, and then all of a sudden things start changing up, and he starts changing up all this stuff. So I tried to back him because one of the other things was Fancy Farm in Kentucky. If anybody's familiar with Fancy Farm, they shut out third parties, and I was trying to get behind letting third parties into the debate and stop trying to make it about one candidate that they want to push in the mainstream Democrat and one candidate they want to push for a mainstream Republican. They shut a lot of people out over at Fancy Farm. It is wrong. So that was one area where Eric Deters and I had agreed on in that regard, but he was just using it to his own personal gain. Now, Chris Thieneman was backing all this. Chris Thieneman, just so that you understand, they're trying to make moral attacks. They want to make moral attacks against Thomas Massie. We'll get to that. He ends up in Thailand. Okay, Chris Thieneman does business back and forth in Thailand and out in Cali because he is not a real Republican. He is a rhino. And I think he switched to independent in the back. I don't even know what's going on with him. I haven't kept up with him, and I wouldn't have even brought all this up if his lapdog Eric Deters hadn't come out to attack Massie. So Thieneman likes to go to Thailand to hang out with prostitutes. And he was there with his ex-girlfriend at one point, hanging out with prostitutes. And he's personally showed me the pictures, before he went to court. And he had to defend himself by saying, she's crazy. I wasn't forcing prostitutes on her. Look at these pictures of her hanging out with the prostitutes willingly. They were in Thailand hanging out with prostitutes. These are the guys attacking Thomas Massie's moral character. Moral character. These are the ones that want to go after Massie. I find it absolutely hilarious. Thieneman, you messed up. Deters, you messed up. You don't get arrested and go after your own family. And he did it all on a Facebook live stream, which was hilarious. And he's like, my nephew was getting out of line and I had to blah, blah, blah. And then he ends up having to face 90 days in jail over it. It's insane. So ignore anything Eric Deters has to say to you. Same with Chris Thieneman. There's a reason why they're behind us having to do all this stuff the way they're doing it now. They cannot attain an office in the state of Kentucky. They can't attain an office in the city of Louisville. They can't attain an office as a dog catcher, okay? They have failed every race they've ever been in. Every race they've ever been in. That's why they're going after Massie. So when you start bringing in local paid agitators like Eric Deters, some smuck that has again and again proven he has no moral fiber, to go after one of the best congressmen we have in office, you piss me off. I know you all. I met some of you. Some of you all don't realize that I was involved in 12 different political campaigns. I've been avoiding politics like the plague on my channel as often as possible to try to focus on science. But the issue is that my father ran for office twice. I was involved in Ed Martin's campaign quite a bit behind the scenes. He and Ed Martin had a radio show. I was involved in Gatewood Gallrein and D. Riley's last campaign, for fuck's sake. Like, the idea that I have no political experience, or I'm just some rando. And again, I pointed out every time it happens, notice the ones that are dissenting. ATHARVC Chobi625. How, like, I literally just muted an account almost identical to this. They're all fake names. They're all anonymous fake names. That's who's attacking. If you go on X right now, you're going to see nothing but anonymous fake names attacking Massie. And again, I just got throttled on X. They won't ban me. They won't block me. Every post I try to make now says failed to post. Every single post. And I just spent all day yesterday defending Massie on there. I was showing receipts. And then I just, no internet. Now I just can't be on X. Now I'm just not allowed. I mean, the timing on that is epic. How random. Nobody else is complaining about it, but this is happening, and I've shown the receipts on this. I have snapshots full of it. So when it comes to Massie, the people that are going after him right now, you have Donald Trump, who cheated on both of his first wives. He's attacking Thomas Massie's moral character. He bombed 170 Iranian girls and called it a targeting error. He's going after Thomas Massie's moral character. Oh, well, fuck me. I don't know what morals are anymore, apparently. Then you have Lindsey Graham. This is the guy against Thomas Massie. Lindsey Graham. Out at Disney during a government shutdown after somebody got listed in the Epstein files as liking young Disney characters. He goes out to Disney by himself. He doesn't have kids, guys. Lindsey Graham doesn't even have kids, and he just went to Disney World during a government shutdown. He doesn't like Massie. That's fine. Okay. Why are all the accounts on X sharing information, as I was saying earlier, about this poly market meme, this whole poly market thing? Massie's down, Massie's down, Massie's losing. They had a 3-hour window to get a snapshot. Okay, it swung by like 15% down. Massie's all of a sudden down by a percentage point. And within 3 hours, he's already back up above 61%. How are you? Thank you, Levi. I'm good. He's already back up above 61%. And so that you would think that would be the end of it. You would go, okay, done, where there's no more. But no, they took the snapshot during that 3-hour period, and they are just sharing it like wildfire. They're like, Massie's down, Massie's down, Massie's down. Look, Massie's, he's down. Look. And you realize you go look at a live estimate of where the election is actually at, and Massie's above 60%, but it doesn't matter. They got their snapshot. They took their snapshot. They're sharing the snapshot, and that's the end of it. Okay. And so all of these people, when you actually look behind who's going after Massie, they have no moral high ground. This is ridiculous. This is one of the most moral people in office. I don't care if you agree with his politics or not. He's not a snake. He's not a bad guy. So let's give you the history about Massie real quick, since everybody seems really confused. First of all these accounts coming out saying that he might have murdered his wife, fuck you. Fuck you. Years nobody has anything to say about this kind of stuff, and then he runs for office against somebody. How dare you? How dare you call yourselves religious? How dare you call yourselves conservatives? How dare you call yourselves decent? You deserve to be talked to like that. This is an abomination to politics. That's beyond politics. It's fucking ruthless, and we should not tolerate it as a society. So they're going after Massie with that kind of crap, right? Well, here's the thing. Massie married his high school sweetheart, who could have gone to Harvard, Rhonda, only she decided to not go to Harvard. She wanted to go to MIT to be close with Massie. They're called restreams, but thank you. She ended up deciding that she didn't want to go to Harvard. She wants to go to MIT to be with Massie. That's how smart Rhonda was. And she loved Massie. Okay, she loved Thomas. So she ends up married to him for 30 years. And Thomas and Rhonda build an off-grid homestead. He's the greenest member of Congress. He has over 30 patents, a self-made inventor, okay, who did not need congressional money and didn't get into politics to make money and doesn't, okay? He raises his own livestock. He grows his own garden. He takes his livestock to a local slaughterhouse so that he doesn't contribute to factory farming. I mean, this guy has independence written all over him. Thomas Massie is the epitome of independence. He is the epitome of the American dream. He just marries his high school sweetheart, goes and gets a couple of degrees from MIT, a master's in science, a bachelor's in engineering, makes a self-built off-grid homestead, raises a family for 30 years, and he's like, you know what? I should probably get into politics. And just none of that was good enough. He hadn't attained enough yet. With 30 patents, he decides, I'm going to run for office and I'm going to try to make the world a better place. To deal with some of the slimiest people on the planet, try to drag him down on a regular basis. I have begged him to throw some haymakers. I have begged Massie. I message him all the time. Dude, please, for the love of God, fight back. Stop letting them walk on you. He's too decent. He won't lower himself. And I think that's what's putting people off of him right now. You have to understand, and it's been said, any of you ever seen the movie Departed? Maybe. In that movie, he says something, Alec Baldwin says something to Matt Damon. He says, a lot of people don't like a guy that's squeaky clean. I do. I like a guy that's squeaky clean, but that's just me. It's like, okay. What ends up happening in that movie? Alec Baldwin's a Fed. Matt Damon's a Fed, and they're both corrupt, and everybody else in the thing is so corrupt. The whole point was, if you don't have dirt under your fingernails, you're probably a crook, is the way that gets viewed, okay? What dirt do you expect Massie to have? He's a fucking computer geek farm boy. I love him, but like, what dirt are you looking for? He's not done anything. That's why they're bringing up this random chick the week of an election and being like, hey, she said he emotionally assaulted her. It's like, okay, that's been debunked. Oh, she said it. It's been debunked, but she said it. It's false. She's already, like, her husband has already won a case against her. Other men have won cases against her. It's so obviously a hit piece. And they don't have anything on it. And so what happens? The squeaky wheel gets the grease, or in this case, something a little bit different. He's too squeaky clean. So they're trying to shred him with anything. They're like, he jaywalked on Tuesday. Did you see Thomas Massie jaywalked? And people go, oh my God, jaywalking is such a huge deal. He wasn't accused of sexual assault. He wasn't accused of rape. He wasn't accused of anything. He was accused of emotional abuse from someone who's been already deemed a false accuser previously and has other cases thrown out. What are we even doing here? They have nothing on this guy. And so I don't understand the desire to spend the millions of dollars and waste conservative energy going after the last decent guy on the block because he's not an AIPAC, because he's not taking AIPAC money. And what does he do? He calls out what's actually in the bills. He forces votes. Every time Massie forces them to do a recorded vote, they change a rule. Like every time he does anything to actually make them, hey, you should have to vote in person so we know it's you. Hey, we should have to record the votes so everybody knows who voted what, so they can decide who they want to vote for based on your voting record. They don't want to do that anymore. They want to pass 1,000-page omnibus bills so nobody knows what's in them. And Massie makes sure that you know what's in them. It's the same thing with Rand Paul. Why do you think they want to get rid of Rand Paul? Christmas every year, what does he do? He puts out what's it called? His Christmas grievance list, Festivus. And he sits there and literally calls out all the stupid stuff that the government spends money on. It's, we're spending money on this. We're wasting money on this. Money in Pakistan to study this stuff. Why? They don't want these men in office. They don't want them there. If they're there, they can keep calling things out. They can keep bringing attention to issues. And so I'm going to bring up the big one, the Epstein files. Massie is the only reason why any of those files are released, and he's still fighting them for not releasing the rest of them. They want him to go away so they don't have to release the rest of the files. He was the man, him and Ro Khanna. He worked with Ro Khanna and got the Epstein files released. And so if Massie stays in office right now, all of the names that are still redacted, he's trying to drag them out, okay? They started deleting files when they were ordered to release them. Massie's fighting that. He's challenging that. If they can get rid of Massie, they think they can bury the Epstein files. We're never going to stop coming after the Epstein associates until they are within our grasp. They raped, murdered, and tortured children. Say that 3 times fast. They raped, murdered, and tortured children. Do you think American citizens are ever going to let that go? You have forfeit your souls, and I've said it numerous times. It does not matter. There is no safe haven, nowhere you can hide where America is going to forget what you did to those children. It's not going to happen. I don't care how many countries you go to war with. We're coming for you. That's how this works. So if they get rid of Epstein, they think they can help bury the Epstein files. And this has been nonstop. Ed Gallrein, just for the record, he's an officer first off. Stop letting him convince you that he was some Navy SEAL. He was drinking coffee telling people what to do. He was an officer. Believe me, I got a family filled with vets. They're grunts. They know better. Okay? They're not going to put up with that. And so he sits there and tries to play this Navy SEAL badass card, but here's the problem. First of all, he's on 100% disability. Second of all, he claimed 100% full-time employment to steal COVID funding. So at the same time, Ed Gallrein was 100% disabled and talking about how he's a fifth-generation farmer. He's 100% disabled. He applies for COVID funding as a full-time farm worker on his inherited family farm. He is a Nepo baby. Like, I don't know what in the hell you all are even thinking trying to defend Ed Gallrein. The man inherited a family farm. He's a fifth-generation farmer. He didn't build anything up from the ground up like Massie, okay? He did nothing compared to what Massie did. He inherits a farm. He's on 100% VA disability on the farm he owns, his family farm. And then he claims COVID funding as a full-time farm employee. Now, there's a reason why they had to edit that film of him getting out of the tractor so he could go, I want no, what's the line? I want no, what's the line? I want no. It was the most poorly edited thing ever. Ed Gallrein is a sad and pathetic man. And when he went to get out of the tractor, they had to edit it because he could not actually walk out of the tractor. I don't know if any of you all caught that. When he opens the door of the tractor and he's like, let me get out of this tractor. And then they cut the scene and he's standing in front of the tractor. I'm Ed Gallrein. And it's, oh my God, it's Joe Biden for the Republicans. It's freaking hilarious. And so, yeah, he's sitting there. I wouldn't make fun of him if it wasn't for the fact that he claimed 100% disability while claiming 100% full-time farm employee on his inherited farm. That's too much for me, guy. I've seen some people hustle in the hood. That is some country boy hustling right there. I don't even know how to give him enough credit for that level of what? Like, these things don't work together. But he ends up pulling all this shit. He comes out of left field. Ed Gallrein, just so that you're aware, he left the Republican Party. He left the Republican Party when Trump won. Did you all not hear that in the mainstream? Are they not telling you that over and over? Ed Gallrein, when Trump won the first time, he left. When Joe Biden won, when Trump was out, he went back to the Republican Party. He's trying to gain Trump's favor with this election. That's literally all it is. He's trying to get back in favor because Ed Gallrein ruined himself when he left the Republican Party when Trump won and then came back after Trump left. And then here comes Trump coming back. He can't leave the Republican Party again. So he's trying to work for Trump to help his image back up. It's not going to work. Ed, go home, dude. Just go home and enjoy your retirement. Let it go. And I'll call this again publicly. Massie with 67%. It's not going as bad as they think. The only reason why I'm going ham on all these accounts on social media is because of how absolutely disrespectful they have been. Okay? I have no worries about Massie losing this election. They had no right to go after him for decency. They had no right to pretend like he was a bad guy. He's the only one going after the Epstein stuff, and they're trying to make him look like a rapist of all people. Okay, and talk about the remarriage thing. Massie remarried 18 months later. He was married for 30 years, okay? I'll say this. You ever heard of a kept man? Any women in the South that know anything about this stuff? Any men? Y'all hear about this? A kept man, okay? This is a man who's been taken care of. He's been married his whole life. He couldn't tie his own fucking shoelaces without a woman helping him, okay? It's not his fault. They were married for 30 years, okay? How long do I put that in the microwave? I don't know. Like, it's that kind of stuff, and he's a congressman. He's been doing all kinds of shit. So Rhonda was a good woman that took good care of him. He waited 18 months before he got remarried. That wasn't an overnight thing. They have really tried to make him look bad for that. There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason. Like, I would not want to be single either. After being married for 30 years, like over a year and a half, that's good. And the other thing was Rhonda and that woman were friends. Nobody knows their personal life. Nobody knows what Rhonda was going through. Like we get the tail end of it when she passes away. Nobody was involved in their personal life like that. They had a fucking wonderful family by everybody's accounts. And when she passed away, this was a friend of theirs that they knew that he remarried. That's not an odd thing. I mean, here you go. Ask Jewish culture how often that happens. A brother would marry some woman that his brother died. You know what I'm saying? And she was widowed. So like, even in Jewish culture, a friend of the family marrying the guy that was widowed now, or the woman that was widowed now, that's a completely normal, natural thing. Is he supposed to go start talking to strangers? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been married for 30 years. He has his bubble. Was Massie supposed to go to another state and say, I'd like to meet a complete and total strange woman to try to fall in love with? Like, that's not real life. That's not how that works. So they've tried to smear Massie in every way they could. And just a friendly reminder, Trump's first wife, the mother of his kids, left him for being a cheating whore. Then that wasn't a good enough lesson, so his second wife had to leave him for being a cheating whore. Then Trump had to import a bride from Europe. So Massie didn't have to go to Europe to get a bride. There were people still in Kentucky that like him. Like, it's weird. Trump had to even leave New York because they chased him out. So Massie was just chilling, and other people around actually still liked him after his wife passed away. Trump's wives just left. So I'm not going to put up with people talking about Massie like he murdered his wife. I'm not going to put up with people talking about Massie like he was cheating on somebody, because here's the other thing. The other accusation with this woman or whatever, they tried to say she tried to get 60 grand out of him, this, that, and the other, which was already proven false by Spat's office. Something else was at play here. They're trying to make it out like they were dating and this, that, and the other. They're saying that he was dating her almost a year after him and Rhonda after she passed. So again, even if he was dating her, which most every bit of this, like, I have not seen one bit of it come out as true yet. Every bit of it has been debunked. But if it were true, it was after Rhonda had passed away, he was dating another woman a year later. That's the dirt that they have on Massie. That's their big thing, is that a year after Rhonda passed, he was dating some chick. That Massie, like, we ought to get rid of him. Like, how do you even get enthusiastic? You don't. You pay a bunch of people to just repeat shit and post it on their page. Do you think these accounts are really running all of their pages? Maybe like 60% of them. I give you at least 40%. No, it's just share this stuff, say it this way. It's all fabricated. Like, the another thing to consider this year, and this is outside of even Thomas Massie, the politicians, the Congress, all of them got together this year and literally overturned a law, and now they are allowed to lie in media for the sake of propaganda. They overturned a law preventing that this year. They're literally telling you that they're allowed to lie to you in media, and then telling you to believe what they say. I'm really confused about the way things are going right now, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I try to follow logic, and there's not a lot. It's like over there somewhere, and so this is where this is at for me. Anybody siding against Massie after everything he's done for us, I don't know what your problem is. Most people aren't. A lot of it is outside of the state. A lot of it is on the internet. A lot of it is BS. And I'm fighting all of this on the grounds of decency, because he's not the guy to do this to. There was no reason to go after Massie like this. And so I'll be defending him. I am in literally right below his district. Anybody saying that, oh, he's blah, 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 I'm in Kentucky, I'm in Louisville, I'm right by him. Like, I can't vote for him. He's one of the best congressmen we have. And for anybody giving me grief like, oh, he doesn't even live there, that is literally every bot on the internet right now is people that live in Florida. Like, you go to these accounts, they're in Florida, they're in Maine. They're not even from the state. They're telling you to hate Massie. They're spending money to promote their post over a District 4 race in Kentucky to convince you to hate Massie. How many 19 to 21-year-old random white dudes or random hot chicks are in Florida or New York, okay, paying for their social media account and paying to promote political posts in Kentucky's District 4 because they just got to fight that Congressman Massie guy? None. Approximately zero. Like, this isn't occurring. So they just, anybody out of state trying to convince you that this is real, that Massie is suddenly the bad guy, discount them. Just throw them in the trash can. They're not impacting the race. They're trying to impact public opinion, because this is what's not being considered. tomorrow still exists. After this race is over, even if Massie wins, they're not going to stop going after him. They won't. If he wins, they're going to implode. Like, they're going to double down. And so, for me, this isn't even about defending Massie in the race. I firmly believe he's winning this by 67%. It's not about the race. It's about after the race. They are not going to stop going after Massie because they're not going to stop trying to bury the Epstein files. He's the one that's he's the one that's been pushing it the entire way, got the signatures. They forced MTG out of office. Again, how can all of you don't have to like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't care. I don't care if you like her. But no, she didn't move out of the country. They've had a vacation place there for however long. They were having a home built. And so they went there for vacation for however long. And they're having the home built in Georgia where she lives next to her family. She didn't flee the country. That's not what Marjorie Taylor Greene did. Like, I get it. You can complain about money and what did she do with her money. I have no idea. I haven't heard any corruption charges like that against her. So she didn't just up and flee the country because of what happened with Trump. What ended up happening is she's publicly stated this in numerous interviews. Trump told her, I don't want you to sign off on the Epstein files because it's going to hurt my friends. Those are Trump's own words to Marjorie Taylor Greene. She said them numerous times in public. He can't sue her because it's true. So Trump told her that he wanted her to back off on the Epstein files because it was going to get his friends in trouble. If that wasn't true, she would have been sued into oblivion already. He sues everybody. Marjorie Taylor Greene would not be allowed to say that in public if it were not true. So that's a thing that happened. You don't have to like it, but Trump did tell Marjorie Taylor Greene to back off of the Epstein files so his friends didn't get hurt. Massie is the champion on this thing. Massie is the guy that's making it happen. They are doing everything they can to get rid of him. Absolutely everything. I'm encouraging everybody in District 4 to vote for him. But this isn't just about voting for me. I'm encouraging everybody in the United States to defend Massie. If you are opposed to the censorship on the Epstein files, if you are pissed off about the war, if you are pissed off about spending and high gas prices and everything that we were promised would not occur, then you need to defend Massie. He's genuine. He's the only one right now. If I'm wrong about that, that's fine. I'm wrong about everything. I don't care. I'm not. And that's all I can really say about it. Like I said, ignore Eric Deters, ignore Chris Steineman. Will Chamberlain's getting sued. Cat Turd will probably get sued. Massie's already filing lawsuits against these people. It's absolutely ridiculous what they have let this come to. They let AIPAC take control, and it got out of hand. I mean, this is just sad. I'm disappointed in my government. I'm disappointed in the politicians. I'm disappointed in Republicans. I'm disappointed in Democrats not fighting against Trump hard enough because he's not really their enemy. And I don't know how anything got so bad that they're just attacking decency at this point. If you cannot be controlled by the system, if you cannot be used, manipulated as a tool to do their bidding, they will shut you out. They will shut you down. They do not care. And so, vote for Massie. He doesn't need it. He's going to win. He's going to win. You should still go vote. Like, if I say he's going to win and then you stay home, then he doesn't get your vote, then he doesn't win. You see the problem here. But he doesn't really need the votes. He's got this thing in the bag. This is about afterwards for me. There is no reason to side against Massie and to take sides with people defending all this other stuff. Just make sure you have his back. He is taking way too much hell. I think he's been through enough. I'm just saying. But that's all I really had to say today. Y'all take it easy. Just make sure you watch this video so that you know what's going on, who these people actually are. If you have any questions, hit me up. I am sorry about the delay on my videos, by the way. It's been like a month, I think, since I've done that Sunday Science stream, and I haven't been doing any random stuff. I all right, I had enough stuff going on. And then finally I was through with all this tragedy crap, and I had to get back to the garden and taking care of stuff on the house. Then political season. So I've been busy with this, and I have been desperately fighting to not do political videos. What they've done to Massie has been abhorrent, and I'm not going to sit here and just not do a video on it. So I'm going to get back to my life. I will be doing things on schedule again, probably starting next week. My birthday is tomorrow. I don't know that I'm going to be doing one this weekend. If I do, I don't know. The election's Tuesday. I kind of just want to chill right now and wait until after Tuesday. So if I don't do a science stream this Sunday, I will do one next week. But I will do more random videos. I've just been way overloaded here recently. So we'll be in touch here soon, guys. Thanks.